Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day. So we are going to continue the last chapter in engineering economy, which namely known as break-even analysis. Basically, we are going to cover the payback analysis as well. So let's start. These are the learning outcomes of this chapter. Means that at the end of the session, we should be able to understand and to analyze break-even point and also payback period analysis. So for the break-even point, we have two different methods for one parameter case, and also the two alternatives case. So first we start with the break-even itself. Okay, what's the meaning of break-even? Okay, so stated in the slides here is actually the value of a parameter that makes two elements equal. Okay? Means that makes two elements equal. So the parameter or variable can be an amount of, it can be revenue, can be cost, can be supply, can be demand, etc. for one specific project or between two alternatives. So if for one project, the break-even point is identified as QBE, quantity break-even, QBE. So we're going to usually determine it using the linear, but sometimes we also can calculate using non-linear math relations for revenue and cost. For two alternatives, between two alternatives, we need to determine one of the parameters, either P, A, F, I, or N, with others constant. And the solution can be done several ways. One is direct solution of relation, usually when it's only one factor present. Trial and error, when it's multiple factors present, and we also can use spreadsheet functions or tools, solver, using Excel. But for in our case, we are going to see how we can solve the problem by doing calculation. So break-even analysis finds the value of a parameter that make two elements equal. The break-even point, QBE, is determined from mathematical relations like product revenue, cost, or material supply and demand, or other parameters that involve the parameter Q. So we discussed, I mentioned this, the same thing as in the previous slide. So what's the important? The break-even analysis is fundamental to evaluations such as make-buy analysis. Okay. So when we want to consider whether to make that product or to buy that product, so this break-even analysis is going to be the very fundamental analysis in order for us to decide. So this is the cost revenue model for one project. So if you can see there is a Q for quantity. What is Q? Q is the amount of the variable in questions. Means that in the case that been given to us, Z unit or year. Unit per year. How many units the product can be manufactured? So how many hours per month? Example. And the break-even value is QBE, quantity break-even. So we need to familiarize ourselves with fixed costs. We are going to use FC. So cost that not directly dependent on variable. So fixed cost is cost that not going to change. Okay, like you buying a machine in order to manufacture different kind of dough. To produce different kind of dough. So whatever the type that you design, different design, but you're still using the same machine. So the machine buying cost, purchasing cost is fixed cost. That's the example. Okay, and they give also different examples here, like the buildings, the rent that you pay. fixed overhead, insurance, minimum workforce cost. So fixed cost means not going to change. Okay, and variable cost, or we usually use VC, is cost that change with the parameters. Okay, such as production level. So like raw material cost. Okay, if you produce 10, you may need let's say 10 donuts, you may need 500 grams of flour. If you want to produce more, like 100, you may need 25 kilograms. Okay, so the cost is changing now. So that's the example of the variable cost. So it changed with the parameters such as production level, workforce size. These are labor, material, and marketing costs. And variable cost per unit is V. So we're going to use V to indicate that there's 1 unit, V. If you want to produce 25 unit of donut, so V is going to be 25. If 10, then V is going to be 10. Okay. And total cost. Total cost is sum of fixed and variable costs. So total cost is sum of fixed and variable costs. So this fixed cost plus this variable cost, so we are going to get the total. And revenue is here. What is revenue? The revenue is your it's not your profit. Revenue means you sell something. Let's say you sell 25 donuts, 1 for 1 ringgit. So your revenue is 25 ringgit. It's not your profit yet. It's 25 ringgit. Right? So amount is dependent on the quantity sold. Okay, and revenue per unit is R. Means that you sell 25, 1 is 1 ringgit, so R is 1 for the example. Okay, profit now is profit. Profit is when amount of revenue remaining after cost. Means that revenue minus total cost. This is profit, and then we can derive more. Total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay, so P is also equal to R minus summation of fixed cost plus variable cost. So this is the concept on the cost revenue model for one project. So break even. What is break even? For linear, R and TC. For revenue and total cost. For linear. So break even means where the revenue is equal to the total cost. What does mean? You don't have any profit. You don't have profit, and at the same time, you are not losing money. You just get back your capital. You're not making money yet. Okay. So it's break even. You get back your investment, but you didn't get your profit. Okay. So and solve for Q equal to QBE. So the quantity, okay, like the donut, okay, 25 donut. If selling 25, you get back your capital, so means that that's break even. Usually we are looking for above break even point, then you are going to make profit. So basically this is the formula. Revenue is equal to total cost. So we can expand this more. Revenue RQ is the quantity, okay, the quantity with fixed cost and the variable cost with the related particular quantity. So you're going to get something like this if you want to calculate the quantity for break even. Fixed cost divided by the revenue minus variable, the unit. So when variable cost V is lowered, okay, when V is lowered, then QBE decreases, moves to the left. Okay, you see the graph here is showing something. So this is the revenue, Okay, and this is the total cost. Okay, and then the line they interchange here, the mean is the break-even point. Okay, so if you are moving to the right, okay, going this way, so you're going to have a more profit. Okay. Let's see some, I don't know how to say this, example. Okay, let's say you're going to, you know, sell a burger. Okay, burger. You want to sell burger. One burger is, let's say, 40. Okay, 40. And then you have your fixed costs. Let's say the rent and whatever it is, okay, fixed cost is 100. Let's say your stall, your staff. So you have your variable cost, okay, let's say 100 per month. And then you have your variable cost, let's say one ringgit for each unit, okay. And then how can you calculate this? Say, let's say you sell quantity let's say in 1 month, let's say you sell 1,000 burger. Okay, so what would be your total cost? Total cost is, what is that? Fixed cost plus variable cost, right? So fixed cost is 100 plus, so your variable cost is 1, and then you sell 1,000. So what is your total cost? 1,100. Okay. So if you have your, if we draw the graph just now, so this is quantity, right? Quantity. And here is the cost. So we have the total cost here, the line, total cost. So total cost is fixed, okay? And then we have the, what do you call, variable cost, right? Oops, what's going on? Oh, it's moving. Sorry. Okay. Oh, it's gone. Okay. It's gone. And let's say start again. You have your burger for RN4. This is the selling price. Okay. You have your fixed cost, 100. Okay. A month. And then you have your variable cost, 1 ringgit per unit. And then what else? Quantity. You sell 1,000. Okay. So we calculated just now the fixed cost. I mean the total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. So fixed cost is 100, and the variable cost basically we know is we need to include the quantity, right? Cost per unit plus 1,000. So it's 1,100. So this is the total cost. So just to illustrate in terms of graph, the fixed cost somewhere here, okay, and then you have the variable cost that's changing based on the quantity, right? So the total cost would be something, okay, here. This is total, okay. So this is the scenario. This is the scenario, okay. This is the scenario. So when we are going to use this, okay. So now this is the total cost, and here is your selling, your revenue, okay, the quantity. So this is the quantity, okay. So here is the cost. So when it's crossed, then this is the break even, okay. We call it break even point. Break even point. So when you move towards this range, then you're going to start make profit, okay, especially here. So let's try this. What's the revenue? The revenue is the selling price, okay. RM4 for the burger example, multiply with the quantity, okay, 1000. So is 4000. So what is total cost? Okay, 1100, right? So the total cost is 1000, and the revenue is 4000. So when you so they said 1000 quantity here. So if the quantities goes down here more, then they're going to make profit. Like in this case, 4000 minus 1100, so it's 3000. Sorry, it's 2900, right? So they are making profit. So what is Q is given here. But for this case, can you calculate the quantity for break even? So what is the quantity for the break even? Quantity for the what are the formula just now? Did you still remember? Okay, so fixed cost R minus 1. So fixed cost is 100 minus R and B. What is R? Revenue, the quantity. Okay, R is per unit. R for per unit is 1. R, so you need to calculate R. R is 4 minus 1. So we got something 100 divided by 3. So 100 divided by 3 is it 33 point something, right? So in order to break even, they should get 33 here. So it's 33. But they managed to sell 1000. So why they are making profit? I don't know. I hope you understand this. Basically, the concept. We are going to see the example on one project break. So the same thing here. Okay, a plant produces 15,000 units per month. Find break even if fixed cost is 75,000 per month and revenue is 8 per unit and variable cost is 250 per unit. Determine expected monthly profit or loss. Okay, so we need to find the QBE. and compare to 15,000. Okay, so we know the formula. Okay, QBE is equal to what? Fixed cost over R revenue minus variable. So what is revenue? Sorry, fixed cost. The first one is 75,000. And then we have R and V. R is 8. Okay. And then we have V per unit. Okay. So it's 1 unit for 1 unit. So if you minus this and then you divide it with 75,000 divided with the answer here, you're going to get 13,636 units per month. So what they are doing currently? 15,000, right? What's going on? Too many problems. Okay. Okay. So currently they are doing 15,000. So they need 13,636 for break even, means that to get their capital or their investment back. Okay. So the production is above break even. So they are going to make profit. So how much the profit? The profit is the revenue minus total cost. Okay, so you can expand the formula to be like this to indicate the quantity. Okay, so RQFC is fixed, so you know it doesn't impact. It's not being impacted by the quantity, but the variable cost, yes. So you got this, and then you can simplify to this. Okay, so you can calculate 8 minus 250, and then multiply with the quantity. I mean the quantity given here, and then minus with the fixed cost, we're going to get 7,500 per month. So this is what they get, the profit, the amount of the profit. Okay, and here is the questions as usual, which I hope you can try this, but let's try together. A design to cost approach to product pricing involves determining the selling price of the product and then figuring out if can be made at a cost lower than that. Ahmad Engineering's QT50R radar-based sensor features frequency modulated technology to currently monitor or detect objects up to 15 miles away while resisting rain, wind, humidity, extreme temperature. Okay, that's the whole story. The most important thing are here. It has a list price. Okay, 587. So what is list price? So this is the selling price, the R. Okay, the small R. And variable cost of, because it's per unit, right? It's per unit, so it's small v. Okay, and then the question is, what will be the company's fixed cost? They're asking fixed cost now per year in order for Ahmad to break even with sales of 9,000 units per year. So actually they are asking for the fixed cost. Okay, and they give you quantity for break even is 9,000, and we know it's actually the same formula. Okay, so fixed cost over R minus V. Okay, so we can just play around with this formula to get the value. Okay, so now we want fixed cost. So if we want this fixed cost, so this going to multiply with this, right? So the fixed cost would be QBE multiplied with the difference between R and B. Okay, so we just change it. I mean, put the information that we want. Okay, fixed cost equal to quantity is now 9,000. Okay, 9,000 divided by, I'm sorry, R, one is R, here, this one, 589 minus V. Variable cost is 340, 340. So what you're going to get here, okay? So you can, you can solve this and you're going to get the answer. And the answer should be this. Okay, hopefully you're going to get this answer. This is for A. And for B, suddenly they give a new information. If Ahmad's fixed cost is actually 750K, okay, what would be the profit? Sales is 7,000 now. So we are going to use the totally new information based on B. So they are looking for profit. So profit is, we know, is revenue minus total cost. So which it is equal to R minus fixed cost plus variable cost. And we know that R is impacted by the quantity. Actually, we got this formula is given, okay? Minus fixed cost minus variable cost is also impacted by the quantity, right? So now we want the fee, what we want just now, profit. Okay, so we want profit. So basically, you just replace with the figures with the value there. You can say minus cost plus okay. PQ and then minus with Q. Okay, so you can take the Q out, fixed cost with R minus V Q. So you're going to get fixed cost is 750K, and then R minus the same thing, 580, 589 minus 340. And Q is what is Q just now? 7,000. So 7,000, you should get some value here. Okay, please try this. So you will get it. So this is the example, and we have another example here, question 2. So you can try this by yourself and then compare with the answer here. Okay, so we take a break for some times. So we're going to continue the break even between two alternatives. Thank you.